everybody, welcome out here to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be recapping the summer break of 2023. Now, warning, there are spoilers to PB's results from speedrunning and Monster Jam shows here on this PowerPoint. So, spoiler warning, this is your last chance. Now, let's go ahead and begin recapping this amazing and epic summer break that we've had this year. Coming up first is we have Houston, Texas for Monster Jam in NRG Stadium. As we kicked off the summer break with Monster Jam and Stadium Tour Blue to continue their season in Houston, Texas. Now, unfortunately, when the Houston, Texas shows for Stadium Tour Blue actually happened, I couldn't do them that weekend because I was in Miami for IRL Monster Jam, so I decided to push it back way out here to late May. And so we did, and it would be the third to last stop on the tour. For the results, Cody Saucier and El Toro Loco would win racing, as Cody Saucier would be filling in for El Toro Loco for a second time, since he hasn't driven Toros since Salinas, which was in very late April. So, Cody would drive El Toro Loco, and he's such a fast racer in the stadiums. He was so dominant. And he would continue that dominance in Houston as he would win racing. Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger would win the Great Clip Skills Challenge with two awesome bicycles. They comboed into moonwalks and in the sidewalls. So, great job here for Ryan Anderson as he was trying to give a fight here to have a strong finish to the season. And he was already heading into the weekend mathematically eliminated from the points chase, as it's all down to Team El Toro Loco and Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger to win the title. Speaking of Tyler Menninga and Gravedigger would end up winning the BKT Tires Freestyle competition. And Cody Saucier and El Toro Loco would win the overall event championship. Heading into the next day on May 21st, it was the Sunday show, the final show in Houston for the weekend. We'd be deciding to see who would. This show would actually be trying to decide a winner here, as Cody. It was all down to Tyler and Cody to win the tour, and Tyler, where he had a bit of a lead on Cody, to where if he had a good enough of an event, he could beat Cody and clinch the series in the second to last stop of the tour. So, here's what happened for the results from Show 2. A bit more of a wide variety of results, as the results in the last show is mostly a back and forth between Cody and Tyler, with Ryan winning skills. However, though, for this show in Houston, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger would end up winning racing. Cynthia Gauthier and the Lucas Stabilizer would win the skills competition. Cynthia Gauthier, not known that much for skills, would come out and have an excellent skills run. And then in his hometown crowd, Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris would win freestyle. And Colt Stevens would throw down probably one of the best stadium freestyle runs of this season. And in that show, and it was really nice for him to win. He had his family out here. He had his father, Scott Stevens, who drove the King Crunch truck for a long time. I'm the inventor of the King Crunch truck, and to continue on his father's legacy in Thunder Wars was really good, and it was really nice to see Colt win freestyle. Then the overall event championship winner would be Cody Saucier and El Toro Loco. But despite Cody winning the overall, it was not enough to get him the series championship, as in that event on that day, Tyler Menninga would clinch the championship, making him being the fourth competitor into the World Finals, as he would crown and win his series title in that event. So what a good job here for Tyler. This would be Tyler's first ever Stadium Tour win in his career, which was a long time coming. Tyler was super dominant back in the arena days, where he ended up winning, he's a four-time Triple Threat Series champion, and then he came out here and he's now becoming a five-time tour champion here, winning another tour out here, as he would now get his fifth one here but on a Stadium Tour. What a long time coming for Tyler Menninga, as he would be the Stadium Tour Blue champion. So, great job for Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger for becoming the Stadium Tour Blue champion of this year. And then we'd end up next up, we'd be the International Tour finale stop in Abu Dhabi, as the International Tour would invade Abu Dhabi at the Etihad Arena for the final stop of the tour. Not unlike other tour finale stops where it was down to maybe the top 2 or 3, this show it was down to Matt Cody, Blake Granger, Charlie Pauken, Miranda Kozad, Chelsea Van Cleve, and Earthshaker. So there were 6 trucks in contention for the series, and Independence would make their international return as Paul Jensen would drive Jurassic Attack in that show, while Jeff Souza would drive Velociraptor. Here's the results of what would happen at the show for the finale. Charlie Pauken and Megalodon would end up winning racing, continuing his strong dominance in the racing competition on the international tour. Blake Granger and Max D would win the Great Clips Skills Challenge, as he would throw down some epic balance on those front 2 BKT tires to win skills. Donuts would be won by Chelsea Van Cleve and Blue Thunder, as I would believe this would be Chelsea Van Cleve's first competition win here on my Monster Jam tours, as she would get her first competition win in Donuts. In freestyle, Miranda Kozad and Monster Dalmatian would just be flying it across the arena pod, even nailing an 8-pack backflip ramp, and she would get the freestyle win here to continue on the lady dominance here in the second half of the show. And then the overall event champion would be Charlie Pauken in Megalodon, as he would hope that would be enough to try to take down the points leader Blake Granger in Max D. Unfortunately, that overall win was just not enough for Charlie Pauken, as Blake Granger would win the International Tour, as this would be Blake Granger's first ever tour win, and he'd win the International Tour Points Championship. The International Tour was by far the shortest tour we had done all season long, as they only had 5 stops. They had a stop in mid-February in Stockholm, Sweden. Then in April, in early May, they went to South Africa in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. Then 3 weeks later, they went to Abu Dhabi for the final stop, and Blake Granger would win the Tour Championship. So great job there for Blake Granger and Max D to win the Tour Championship here on the International Tour, to win his first Tour Championship, especially on 20 years of Max D. Let's see how the other Max D in the States will be doing, and let's see if Tom would win his Stadium Tour as well. And we'll be finding that out soon. But to continue off the recap here the next weekend, we'd be in Miami, Florida, at Lone Depot Park for Stadium Tour Red. So here is the results that would happen here in Miami. In racing, Mike Christensen in Vendetta, being fast all season long, would pick up, I believe, his first or second racing win of the season. I can't remember, but I believe he won racing in Houston way back in February, but I can't remember. But what I do know is Mike would pick up another racing win here. He's super fast on that St. Louis style track, and he would pick up racing. And then Todd LeDuc and Megalodon would win skills. This part in the summer break is where Todd LeDuc really started to have a comeback, and really started having a good end of the season throughout the last final stops, as Todd hadn't been having a slow season up until the summer break, where he was really low in the points. And it just seems like, though, throughout the summer break, Todd really kicked it into high gear, as he would win skills with an epic moonwalk off the step-up ramp and an epic bicycle into an epic save for him to win the skills challenge. Camden Murphy and the Bakugan Dragonoid would throw down an incredible freestyle to win him the freestyle competition, as he would have probably one of the best stadium freestyle runs of the entire year. And then your overall event champion would be Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, trying to keep his points lead ahead of the other 11 drivers, so he can try to continue his pursuit to try to win another series championship. The next day, on June 4th, we would do another show in Miami, Florida for Stadium Tour Red. And here is what would happen. In racing, Matt Pagliarulo and Jester would get a much-needed racing win. Kind of like Todd LeDuc, Matt Pagliarulo's racing game really stepped up starting in Miami in the summer break. Throughout the entire season, Matt had actually a really strong start to the season back in Madeira Beach. He had a really strong start to the season, finishing in 5th place at the end of the event. And as the weeks went on, he slowly fell down the leaderboard to where he was eventually near the bottom and was struggling in last place. Well, then it seemed like in the summer break, Matt Pagliarulo really started to pick up the game, especially in racing, as Matt Pagliarulo would win racing on Sunday in Miami. And then in the Great Clips Skills Challenge, Todd LeDuc and Megalodon would go back-to-back skills wins into with an epic skills run. And then in freestyle, Cole Vennard and the Black Pearl would pick up yet another freestyle win, being I believe is possibly 3rd or 4th freestyle win of the season, right here in Miami, as he'd really throw down an epic run in the Black Pearl. Then the overall event championship winner would be Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, as Todd would pick up a much necessary freestyle competition win and on the season, as he really needed that freestyle win he really needed it. He really needed that overall win. He's been struggling all season long, and for him to get that overall event championship win was something much needed here for LeDuc. And then after that, the next weekend, Stadium Tour Red would continue, but on the opposite in Florida, as we were in South Florida in Miami the previous weekend. The next weekend on June 10th, we were all the way at the really far up north of Florida in Jacksonville, Florida at TIAA Bank Field, for only one show compared to the 2 shows we had in Miami and Houston. And here's what would be the results from Jacksonville that next weekend. As we'd see our Kayla Blood and Soldier Fortune would win racing. This is also kind of like Todd LeDuc and Matt Pagliarulo. Kayla Blood really started picking up and getting really good in the competition, and especially at the Tampa show too, but she did really good from Tampa show 2 to East Rutherford. But during the summer break, she really picked it up. She's always near the top in the points in the overall. She was really consistent, and she'd get the racing win in Jacksonville, Florida here on that weekend, trying to pick up more points as she was still in the contention and the fight for the championship series, as she really wanted to try to get a win and win her first ever Stadium Series championship. Then the rest of the night would be swept by LeDuc, as LeDuc would have another epic bicycle save into a moonwalk, where he got a bicycle, he rolled it over, saved it, and walked it on a moonwalk from there, and LeDuc would win skills. Then in freestyle, getting another much-needed win would be Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, and for his back-to-back overall event championship wins for LeDuc, as he'd pick up another overall, which would be really, really good. And Todd LeDuc would want now back-to-back overall event championship wins and back-to-back overall event back-to-back skills wins. He won 3 skills challenge wins in a row, and LeDuc was really starting to jump up in the points during this point in the summer break, as he was really trying to have a nice, strong ending to the season here in Megalodon. Next up here, we'd end up heading to Venice, Florida on June 13th. Now, it's unknown when the Venice shows would be hosted, and as originally, guys, the beach shows in the summer break, they were originally supposed to take place in really late May / very early June. That's when they were supposed to take place. But unfortunately, due to complications with the beach vacation and stuff like that, we had to move it over to mid-June. And in mid-June, that's when we did it. And we were going to do a show out on the beach, kind of like how we did for Madeira Beach. But unfortunately, the sand was just way too thick, making it impossible to do the show. The sand would be too thick, making it really hard to get any traction for skills, make it really hard for racing, and really hard for freestyle, as the trucks would be plowing, and all that sand would not probably be good for the trucks, as it could hurt them and lock up the tires, and having all that sand, it would just not be good for the trucks. So that is why we unfortunately had to do it indoors with a bunch of taped down obstacles, which we ended up having to do on the carpet indoors with a bunch of taped down obstacles, which would turn out to be an amazing show with lots of crushable objects like motorhomes, buses, crushed cars, and being a really big and amazing track down there in Venice on the carpet room. There's what happened for Stadium Tour Red show in Venice on June 13th. Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior would win racing. After I think he had lost contention for the series championship, he wanted to end it off at a high note since he had lost the series championship lead after Tampa Show 2 and was unable to regain it. And so Bryce Kenny and he would end up being losing contention for the series. So he really wanted to end off with a bang and try to end off as high as he can in the points. He would win racing on that really big, long St. Louis style track. Stadium Tour Red was starting to get used to the St. Louis style track now, since this would be their 4th show in a row they ran it, because they did St. Louis style for 2 weeks, for 2 shows in Miami, Jacksonville, and now Venice. And something also note about Venice for Stadium Tour Red is they actually had to drive a lot of ways, and they had to really work on those trucks really fast. By Sunday morning, all the trucks had left. The Pagliarulos and the Feld trucks trying to work their ways back to their shops in either Ellington or Deltona to fix up the trucks really quickly, grab some parts, and be ready for the show in Venice as they would arrive in Venice there on that Monday. And then they got all the trucks ready to go for Venice just in like 3 days after the Jacksonville show. Really props to the crews for getting all the trucks ready to go in time for the Venice shows. And Bryce Kenny would win racing on that long St. Louis style track. Todd LeDuc would win his 4th skills competition in a row. LeDuc had been insane in the skills as of lately, and he would win. Then he would win his 2nd freestyle win in a row as well, throwing down in a really amazing run. But unfortunately, LeDuc's overall event championship reign of 2 events in a row would come to an end as Kayla Blood and Soldier Fortune would win the overall event championship, trying to keep her fight for the tour win. So great job here for Kayla Blood on winning that overall event championship here, as she really wanted to try to win her tour. And then the next day, we were in Venice again, but this time for the finale stop of Stadium Tour Blue. We had already known that Tyler Menninga had won the series. We already know he won the series, so it was just an all-out battle here for everybody to try to end off the season on a high note. The show would be completely swept by Ryan Anderson, as Ryan Anderson would win racing on that long St. Louis style track, which was definitely hard for them since they were mainly used to doing paperclip, and they hadn't done a St. Louis style track since Glendale, which was practically almost 2 months earlier before this, so they hadn't really done as much St. Louis track in a while, even though they did do a lot of St. Louis tracks in the beginning of the season, such as in San Diego, Anaheim, let's see here, Indianapolis. They'd done a lot of St. Louis style tracks in those shows, but they hadn't done one in a while, so it's definitely difficult for the drivers to adapt to it, more than the Stadium Tour Red drivers. But rather than that, Ryan would get the win here, and he would win racing, have an excellent skills, he'd burn it down in freestyle, and he would get the triple down in the overall event championship. Before we hop back into more of the shows that had ended up happening throughout the summer, we have our first PB that we end up holding for the rest of the summer. On June, I messed up the thing. This is not the year 203. This is 2023. I mistyped that. Sorry about that. But on June 23rd, 2023, the exact release of 2 years after Battle for Bikini Bottom, or 3 years after Rehydrated had came out, we got a PB in a Run 3 speed run. We ended up PBing by 16 minutes, and we got a time of 16 minutes and 28 seconds. And it was our first PB in almost in around, I believe, 1.5 years. So it was really nice to get a PB. I was not expecting a Run 3 PB this summer. I thought my times in Run 3 were unbeatable, and I thought nobody was going to be able to beat them. Or I didn't think I was going to be able to beat them. But I did. I beat my own PB, and I got a new time of 16 minutes and 28 seconds. And that would hold to be my PB for the rest of the summer. as I did not get any more PBs throughout the rest of the summer break after that, as that would be a really good time here that I had here on that day, and it was really good. It was a good run. Hopefully, maybe we can PB at it sometime soon. Next up, to continue with the Monster Jam results, on June 24, 2023, it would be time to start the finale weekend here for Stadium Tour Red in Atlanta, Georgia. After having most of the trucks, after having over a week at the shop to get the trucks ready to go, they were ready to burn it down, knowing that this would be the last show nearly 3 weeks before the World Finals. They were going to burn it down here, and we still haven't had decided a tour champion. As we came into weekend, it was all down to the top 4. Adam Anderson, Tom Meents, Caleb Blood, and Camden Murphy were all in the hunt for the series championship. So let's see what the results that happened in racing on Atlanta Show 1 here. This would be a completely different track, different sand, really huge. And it would take a lot of adapting for the drivers. And unfortunately, due to rain, we did not hold practice the previous day because we did not want the sand to get rained on and stuff like that, and the sand just get completely washed away in the track. So, Caleb, the drivers had not raced on that track. In fact, the track wasn't even built until around like an hour before the show even started is when we built the track. So that was really interesting. But Caleb Blood, despite that, would end up winning racing, continuing a strong racing streak, as Caleb Blood, since Tampa around mid-March, and especially at the summer break, Caleb was really good in racing. Even if she wasn't in the finals or was the racing winner, she was always making the semifinals and was really consistent. And Caleb Blood here would get another racing win. After having not gotten a racing win in 2 weeks, she would get another racing win to add to her collection. And then in skills, Caleb Blood would have an epic skills run out on that huge Atlanta floor to win the Great Clip Skills competition. In freestyle, winning another freestyle competition during the summer break would be Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl, as Cole Vennard here on this track would just absolutely be flying. He'd be flying in huge air throughout the entirety of the... as that track definitely provided for big air, especially off the bus jump and off some of the jumps on the berms. So Cole would end up winning freestyle with an epic run. Probably one of Cole's best freestyle runs throughout the entire season. And you may have thought Caleb Blood was going to win the overall event championship after her strong performance in the first half of the event in racing and skills. Unfortunately, she did not, as Caleb Blood would finish near the bottom in freestyle, as she was really going out hard and swinging in freestyle to try to win that overall event championship. She knew she had a good truck to do it, because Halo's truck is usually solid and can just really land solidly off jumps. Unfortunately here though, Caleb Blood would not be able to get that win. As that overall win is, she would go out in freestyle and crash on her first jump. She went out too big and she would have a hard landing and a hard wreck, which would allow for Tom, and in fact the overall event championship, it was actually a tie between her and Tom Meents. But since Tom Meents had a better freestyle score, Tom Meents would win the overall event championship. So great job here from LeDuc to win, not LeDuc, but good job here for Tom Meents to win the overall event championship, as LeDuc's overall event championship reign that he had throughout Jacksonville and Miami, and his strong performance, it would come to an end as Meents would win the overall event championship, something that we really needed to see from Meents, since we haven't hardly mentioned him at all throughout the summer break in this analysis video. The next day would be the finale event, as still mathematically, we still did not have a tour winner until today. And now, unfortunately, from the performances from Caleb Blood and Camden Murphy, they were just not enough to get them the tour championship, as they were mathematically eliminated from contention and to win the series after her Atlanta Show 1. So it's all down to the greatest rivalry in motorsports Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, and Tom Meents and Max D. Who would win the tour title? Would Adam Anderson get his first tour title in like 3 or 4 years? Or would Tom Meents do it, getting a back-to-back tour championship and win the tour championship to represent 20 years of Max D? Well, we'll find out. As they're at Atlanta on that show, Travis Mowry and Velociraptor would win racing. As Travis Mowry, this was actually his last show forever, since he wanted to focus on being a father. So it would be his last show in Velociraptor before retiring. So heading into that show, Travis really wanted to burn it down, and he did, since he didn't have to worry about fixing up the truck since he was going to be retired. So that'd be Team Throttle Monster's problem now of trying to fix up the truck. Not his. So he could just burn it down in that show, and he would get lightning fast passes in racing, and would win the racing competition here on his final event of the season, or on his final event before retirement. In skills, Tom Meents and Max D would have an amazing skills run and get him the win. Probably one of Tom's best skills runs ever. And then in freestyle, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger just absolutely burn it down, sending it across the track at Atlanta Motor Speedway to get the win. And Adam would win freestyle with probably one of the best freestyle runs we'd seen all season in stadiums and speedway shows, and probably Adam's best freestyle run from this season, as he would end up getting the win. Then overall, your overall event championship, bouncing back from yesterday, being the queen of consistency, or Mrs. Consistency. The winner would be Kayla Blood in Soldier Fortune, as she would get another overall event win, as she did amazing. She did amazing at the show, and she burned it down for the fans, representing for all of our men and women in uniform. So great job out here for Kayla and Blood in Soldier Fortune to win that overall event championship win and bounce back, even though she could not win her tour. But your series champion was determined after the event, and the winner would be Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Great job to Adam Anderson and Gravedigger win a tour championship. He hasn't won a tour championship since around, I think, 2019 or 2020 was the last time he won. I remember he did win in 2019, but I can't remember if he won his tour in 2020. I can't remember if he won Stadium Tour Ready 2020 or if Todd LeDuc did. I can't remember, but Adam would win the tour championship, claiming him another automatic bid into the World Finals. After this, speaking of World Finals, this will be enough for the Diecast League for now. We're gonna start talking about, whoa, what on earth happened? I have no idea what just happened right there, everybody, but in World Finals in Nashville, Tennessee, you guys, I would actually get to attend the Monster Jam World Finals in Nashville that season. And this year, I got to attend Nashville. This is definitely by far the highlight of the summer break, was getting a chance to go to Nashville and getting to see World Finals. I never even left the state of Florida to begin with. I've always stayed in Florida. I've never taken a step over that state line in Florida. I haven't taken a state, when I mean I haven't. I have not taken a step over that state line here to go anywhere else outside of Florida. The closest I'd been probably to the state line was probably when I went to Jacksonville for Monster Jam, just like 4 months earlier. So it was really nice to get to travel there. Probably one of my most expensive and farthest Monster Jam trips I'd ever done. But it was worth it, and I had a lot of fun time. Guys, I'm going to leave down the link in the description below. If you guys want to know more in detail about my thoughts and what happened in Nashville, guys, for the event, just go down the description, as I will link a video to that. And you should also go check out all my footage from Nashville, as well as Nashville was really, really fun. Nashville was really fun. And go check out that video. Go check out all the videos. Go check out all the footage, as you guys do not want to miss it. It was a really good show. But for the results in Nashville, Camden Murphy would end up in the fastest qualifier on Friday. Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger would win high jump, as he would win high jump for the second year in a row. And despite being in the muddy weather, he would use that throttle rhythm and tapping his brakes to win the high jump competition, and then becoming a 4-time World Finals champion, as he now has the same and equal amount as world titles as his dad does, Dennis. So that'd be really nice here. That was really nice there for Ryan. And in the Great Clip Skills Challenge, despite it probably being the worst skills challenge we had seen at World Finals, Tyler Menninga would win with an epic tombstone that he had off the backflip ramp, as he would win the skills. In racing, after coming so close last year, Tristan England and Earthshaker would win racing and defeat the fastest qualifier, Camden Murphy, in the finals. And then in freestyle, Colt Stevens and Thunder Wars would become a World Finals champion in front of all of his family. So great job right there for Colt Stevens to now finally edge his name in the World Finals as a World Finals champion, and to continue on his father's legacy of driving monster trucks. A great job there for Colt Stevens. Again, for more in-depth results and opinions about World Finals, please be sure to check in the description down below, as I will link a video to that. Next up would be 3 weeks, around 2 or 3, yeah, I believe it was 2 weeks later, I would end up going to do my Monster Jam World Finals in I'll do my Diecast World Finals in Nashville, Tennessee, as this would be a really solid event on one day of a 32 trucks. And so here's what happened. Again, if you want to know more in-depth analysis from World Finals, from my World Finals, just be sure to check in the description, as I will link it to that. And go check out all my footage from Monster Jam World Finals 24, or from the full show, the pit party, practice, qualifying, and the award show, the bowling. And please go check it out. It's all really cool. And it's really cool, as you should definitely check it out. First of all, Ryan Disharoon and Shaker would win the showdown competition, and edging himself, making it to the main field for the first time since 2017. He'd be in the main field for the first time since then. So it was really nice to see him in there for the first time since 2017. He'd make it to the main field. Then in the your fastest qualifier would be Cody Saucier in Dragon. For 2 years in a row, Cody would be really fast. It would be the fastest qualifying position. So great job for Cody. We'll check in and see if the next day, and see if he ended up winning that World Racing Championship that he came so close to winning the previous year. Well, but actually though, for your World Racing Championship on the next day, the winner would be Kayla Blood in Soldier of Fortune, as she'd edge herself as a World Finals champion. Kayla had such a successful summer break this summer, from all the consistency she's had from winning racing and freestyle and skills across the summer and overall event championships. Her consistency, she would end up winning racing, the World Racing Championship in that event, defeating Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger in the finals. A great job for Kayla Blood to edge herself in there as a World Finals champion. And she would be actually the third female in my history of Monster Jam to win a World Racing Championship, as Medusa won World Finals 6 Racing back in 2005, and Rosalie Raymer and Wildflower won the World Racing Championship back in 2018 for World Finals 19. So it's nice to see Kayla Blood get a win out here in Soldier of Fortune to be another female World Finals champion. Then in freestyle, Bari Musauer and Zombie would clinch his second World Freestyle title, his first World Finals Freestyle title since 2016, as on Easter in 2016, he would actually end up winning freestyle with Huge Air, and he would do the same here. Bari had Huge Air throughout and would become now a 2-time World Finals champion. although it is controversial as many think Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder should have won over Bari. But still, really big congratulations for Bari on becoming a 2-time World Finals champion. And now, guys, it's time to talk more about some speed runs. As right now in the all-level Golden Spatulas category, I would actually end up getting my current PB on July 25th of 2023 of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 14 seconds. This wasn't the best category for me this summer, as we did miss PB a lot, and this wasn't as successful. And yeah, there's not really that much else to say, but that would be our current PB time that we have right now in the category. Our next current NPB that we have is in the Rehydrated Any %, as my Rehydrated Any % current time is now 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 5 seconds. As this would be our time that we held to this day. We're super close to sub 2 hours in this category, and hopefully we can achieve it someday. But that is our current PB time. And now it's time to go back and talk more about some Monster Jam stuff, as on August 5th would be the end of summer show. After all the shows we had done this summer, and unfortunately it was about to come to an end. So here is what happened at that show. In the end of summer show, Bryce Kenny would pick up his second racing win of the summer break by winning in the racing competition, his first racing win since Venice, Florida. So Bryce Kenny would end up getting that racing win here in Nashville, in the same place where we held the World Finals just a couple weeks ago. Bryce Kenny would win racing, and it was a really good job and really well deserved here from Bryce Kenny. Todd LeDuc, now moving back in Blue Thunder, would end up winning the Great Clip Skills Challenge, getting another Skills Challenge win in the summer break, and would be his first Skills Challenge win since, I believe, Venice. And this would be Todd LeDuc's fourth now Skills Challenge win on the summer, as he has won 4 Skills Challenge wins this summer break, as he won in Miami, Florida Show 1, Miami, Florida Show 2, Jacksonville. I think he won Skills in Venice, but I can't remember, but I believe, yeah, he did win Skills in Venice. So he got 4 wins, and this is actually his 5th win. He won in Venice, and then he won in Nashville, so now 5 in a row. Not 5 in a row, but 5 Skills Challenge wins Todd LeDuc has won. In the Target Freestyle, Tom Meents and Max D would get the freestyle win with an epic run on here to kick off and end off the summer break. And then the overall event championship winner would be Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Would win racing, or not racing, the Lucas Oil overall event championship win. So great job here from Ryan Anderson to win in the overall here on the last event here of the summer, as this would be his second overall event championship win of the summer, as he won here in Nashville and he won in Venice earlier on a couple months ago. So great job here for Ryan Anderson. And then on August 6th, the next day, we'd achieve our current 100% time for Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated of 3 hours and 41 minutes and 34 seconds. This would be a really, really good PB time, as I'm really happy with it. I believe this summer, I got sub 4 hours in this category, I believe. So that was really nice, as this is the longest category and longest speed run I currently do. So it's nice that we're continuing to chop off time off of this category. And for this speed run right here, unfortunately we didn't get as many PBs in this run, considering I didn't do this category as much as I've done other categories this summer break. But we did get a few PBs here and there, which was really nice. Considering the first couple of runs I tried to do of this, like I believe my first 2 runs I did of Rehydrate 100% did not PB in the summer break. So it's nice that this is now our new current PB. And then, our next PB would come the next day, which would be any % of August 7th, 2023. And man, let me just tell you guys something. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting any PBs this summer. In the any % category, I was not expecting to get a single PB. this summer break. I was not expecting it. I didn't think I was gonna get any. I thought my 2-hour and 15-minute run that I did on Memorial Day of 2022, at that time would just sit there and I would never PB in another run. But yet I did. I got another PB run this summer, as I end up getting a PB on Memorial Day of this year, 2023, Memorial Day. I end up getting a PB. And that PB would save around 17 minutes of time, as I'd actually sub 2 hours. I wasn't expecting a PB, but like, no, if I was a PB, I didn't expect my PB to be below 2 hours. I would have never thought I'd be beating Battle for Bikini Bottom any percent in under 2 hours. I never thought that would ever happen. I thought it would be too difficult, but I did it. I was not expecting that. And the run I had earlier on Monday, it was really good. I was really happy with it. It was really good, even though the run did have some stupid death moments in it. And the run also actually, I missed lobby skip in the Murmelair, and I missed dilemma skip. So even though I missed those 2 skips, I still got a PB, which was just absolutely crazy. I'm super happy about. I'm super happy I got a PB here in this run of 1 hour and 51 minutes and 30 seconds. If I would have nailed dilemma skip and Murmelair lobby skip, I probably could have gotten a sub 1 hour and 50 minutes. Hopefully, though, maybe some point in the future we can sub 1 hour and 50 minutes here in this category. And then lastly, on August 9th, I would get my current 100% PB of 2 hours, 47 minutes, and 41 seconds, as that is today. So spoiler, guys, in case this video somehow comes out before my 100% PB does, which I don't think it will. I think that's probably that run may be out by now. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to check afterwards. But today I did get a PB here, and this would be what a high note to end off this summer break with this run here. Then my run I had today, it was so clean. I had dilemma skip on my first try. That was just epic. I got the downtown taxi pad little skip, the thing you jump on top of the taxi pad to skip some of the animation. I got the Trench of Advanced Darkness celebration skip with that spatula where you jump on the spatula and enter to the load at the same time. I nailed that as well. I got the rolling ballroom on the first try. I had an amazing SBA setup. And the only thing I wish I could have gone better is if I would have nailed Robo Sponge skip. And then also some other really good thing that happened in the run today is it was really clean, hardly any stupid death moments. I'd actually performed my first ever L clip today in the graveyard, in the Flying Dutchman's graveyard. I ended up having a really good first area where I skipped a lot of the wall jumping and puzzle solving, and by doing an L clip onto a trampoline, and then I ended up getting out of bounds. I was able to walk out of bounds to get to the end of the area spatula. So that was really good. I'm really happy that happened, and I'm super happy this run PB'd here. I was not expecting as well to get sub 2 hour, or sub 3 hours here on this category. That's something I was not expecting. And I also got sub 2 hours and 50 minutes today, which was something I was also not expecting. I didn't think I could 100% this game in that way, as I've saved, like, I started speedrunning this category last mid-May of 2022. I started playing this game. I started playing 100%. I started doing the 100% category in mid-May of 2022. May 18th, in fact, May 18th, 2022. I had to do my first run in that category, which would be 5 hours and 50 minutes. And since then, I've saved 3 hours and 3 minutes of time. Probably one of the biggest time saves I probably have had. So that's just crazy. I'm super happy that has happened, as that was just really good. I'm super happy with how this came out, and I'm super happy we ended off the summer on a high note. I'd also love to say, guys, as the moment, unfortunately, I can know this summer is in dedication to first of all my grandma. Unfortunately on July 9th. Of this year, unfortunately did get the sad news that unfortunately my grandma did pass away from Alzheimer's, and so it was really sad and really tough to lose that good of a family member this summer, or so. You know, may Grandma, like, rest in peace. May she rest in peace. We'll miss her. Thank you for all the memories you have created. And I'd also love to say, this is also in dedication to Aloy. Aloy relevant, Aloy 98. She's had some struggles. Although she is not dead, she is still alive. But she's had some struggles this summer. Like, I've seen her have struggles. Like, she was battling with lung cancer. Or so, guys, put hashtag justice for Aloy. Just put that in there. Or just thank you. Justice for Aloy. Aloy, no matter, I've seen you've had, lots of issues. Ran into a lot of problems. Just, keep fighting. Never give up. No matter the situation you're struggling and sitting in. And never, ever, ever give up. Keep fighting. Never, ever give up. We don't want to lose you like how we've lost other people, like my grandma and Technoblade and Scott Hartsock. We just don't want to lose you, so keep fighting. Never give up. That's all I gotta say. And that'll be it for summer break of 2022. Summer break of 2022 was amazing. And guys, the summer break of this year was really good. Although I think last year was better. The only reason why I think last year was better is because I think last year's summer break was a bit better in some areas. Like, I believe my World Finals was better last year than this year. I enjoyed the World Finals more last year compared to this year. Last year I had a way better event. Last year's World Finals is way better overall, as far as the competition goes. Better racing, better skills, better high jump, better freestyle, better pit party. And so I think last year's World Finals was better. This summer break also wasn't as long. This summer break was actually shorter by, I believe, like a day and a half, maybe 3 days it was shorter by this year's summer break. So a bit shorter. Unfortunately, we lost my grandma this summer, which kind of doesn't make it as good as last year. We didn't hardly have anybody we lost. We didn't lose anybody last year. Well, actually, we did lose Technoblade last year, but besides that, we didn't have any major losses in the family though. So yeah, and then also last summer I got to hang out with Jackson Jonas more compared to this summer. I saw Jackson Jonas 6 times last summer. We only saw them 4 times this summer. So yeah, last year's way better, but I believe this year's probably the second best summer break I've probably ever had. And next year it's gonna be bigger and better, as I do have an exciting beach show that I'm doing next year. Really, really, really exciting beach shows that I have planned for next summer that I think should hopefully work. Next summer, I'm going to try to go to Moss Jam World Finals in LA. Be ready for that, because at least there will be no rain delays for that, and it'll be a better show, so it'll be indoors and a dry track. I'll try to make it there, and hopefully it'll be included during my summer break, as it may not be a part of my summer break next year. I may have to still go to school after LA. Hey, it just depends, but more on that will come later. But Moss Jam, my Diecast World Finals will be back next year, here in early June. And so, guys, next year, hopefully the boys will come over next year. Next year, there will be more speed runs, maybe even another SpongeBob game playthrough next summer. So, guys, next summer it's going to be bigger, longer, and better than this year. So, everybody, please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you guys can be notified for next summer break, as you do not want to miss it. Next summer break is going to be awesome. But until then, we still have a lot of stuff to get through. We still got to get through the rest of this year, which will be in the next video. And we got to get through first quarter next year, which is all going to be awesome. Stay tuned, everybody. Next year's going to be awesome. Alright, bye-bye, everybody. Have a God bless day. We'll see you all soon for my final video of the summer break.